Dave, 2 to 3 years from now, or what are we going to expect? Are we going to have less air traffic controllers? Are we going to have one pilot in a commercial aircraft? What can we expect to see? I know those are sort of lofty goals and very scary ones. Let's just start with more density in landing planes, right?
Well, I think that I wouldn't speculate about, it wouldn't be my place to speculate about how many pilots will be in commercial airliners. I think there's certainly going to be capacity enhancements, routing enhancements in our air traffic, in our national airspace system. Um, where I would tend to go with the question as it relates to AI and what do I see in the future as it relates to NASA is really two things. Um, I see an acceptance of AI as the digital assistant, that capability that is going to enable every member of the workforce to be able to be more effective with their time. And think about this, there's a bit of a human behavior component to how we interact with any new technology. I have a colleague at NASA, a digital transformation officer, who often talks about watches. And many of us wear some type of smartwatch. But the analogy would go something like if you wear a smartwatch and all you use it for is to tell time, you really haven't fully benefited from all the capability that's on your wrist. And I think generative AI is going to be like that as well. And there's going to be a journey where people will start to now look to that generative AI capability as a digital assistant in every part of what they do on any given day. I recently prepared our CIO for a presentation with a very senior official from the NSC. And in doing so, I did a little bit of research using generative AI. And I did in 15 minutes what it would have taken me 2 to 3 hours to do otherwise. I was able to pull very relevant excerpts from various different publicly available content. I was able to reference all of that content, put it into a Word document and ship it off to them. And I would say that was literally 15 minutes. So, think about taking that kind of gain in efficiency across an entire workforce for an agency like NASA in so many of the support functions. Think about the citizen data scientist, the citizen developer, and the democratization that was talked about earlier as it relates to these capabilities, but more so the acceptance of them as part of what we do, and a confidence in reliability, and then confidence in ourselves to be able to responsibly use the technology as part of our work. There's one other aspect at NASA, and that is, we have a lot of edge use cases. So we will see edge use cases in, let's say, human space travel. When you think about an astronaut going to Mars, there are blackout periods in communication during that very long journey. And let's say there's a medical emergency. How does that astronaut deal with that medical emergency? So we're doing research right now based on a large repository of astronaut medical data. And we would put that in an edge use case on a space vehicle so that an astronaut can help diagnose and respond to a medical incident during perhaps one of those blackout periods. So there are a lot of very unique cases at NASA, but in all, I would categorize so many of them as some form of digital assistance to the workforce, whether you're an astronaut, whether you're, let's talk about the air traffic control system, or whether you're an accountant or a human resources officer doing, work in support of the agency.